Oh, hi everyone. Look, you get a Chaplin Rising right now.
I wanted the cute
Hi.
kitty to start off with, in case anyone's like, "You didn't like Goosebumps." It's like, well, people want me to review it, so there you go. So right at the
Here.
start, you get a cute little kitty,
Oh.
and he already left. Even he's like, "I'm not staying around for this."
So not only are you saying that you didn't like Goosebumps, but now you're saying that you're sacrificing your cats to the critics instead of just taking it like a man, Doug?
He can take it. I can't.
We know Chaplin has that quiet strength that we all wish we had, you know?
Yes, fair that inner strength. He's not
Mhm.
complaining at all. He's very, very chill, very mellow. Doesn't meow that much
Famously.
at all. Yeah, famously. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Anyway, hi everyone. Happy almost Halloween. I'm a giraffe.
This is true.
And
And that
we
was Chaplin.
that was Chaplin. And we are chatting with Doug as we usually do here on these Wednesday nights. I see we already have a hype train going on over on Twitch and the questions flowing in over on YouTube. So let's get to the rules so that we can start getting to these wonderful questions that you have. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have time for highlighted questions over on Twitch or regular chat questions over on YouTube, but please do not start saying those questions now, because if you do, I can't scroll back up and check them out. And if you're going to repeat yourself over and over and over again, you can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. So don't repeat yourself. On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over. We just have a large volume of questions, and this is just a way for us to be able to prioritize and still get to those non-paid questions. If we have time towards the end of stream, we'll go back to those less than $5 questions, but we prioritize $5 and over. If you see your super chat unpin from the top of the chat, you don't have to give another super chat. I have a list. It is very rare that we actually missed one. You just need to have some patience. We can get up to an hour behind. So just have some patience and we will get there, okay? Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to lose the point and we don't have time to go back and figure out what you were trying to say. Along those same lines, if you absolutely must break up your question or comment into multiple parts, keep it to 3. Absolute max. Again, we don't have time to figure out how part 12 connected to part 3 and what you're trying to say in all of this. So 3 absolute max, please. No spoilers, okay? I know some of you have already watched the new episodes of Has Been Hotel. I haven't yet. Don't tell me what
Oh,
happened.
did those drop? Oh, I gotta
Yes.
start watching those.
Yeah. I think there's only a couple that dropped today. I also haven't
Okay.
finished the newest season of Only Murders either. Don't spoil that either. I have like one more episode left. Don't do it, okay? Movies too. I don't know. I don't know what's out right now.
Something that Bologna movie. Bulgaria, Bologna, whatever. Yeah. No, that's not it.
No, it's not. All right. I don't
I
know
mean,
what
it is, but it's
Oh.
not.
I don't even know. I don't know what we're doing here. I feel like I missed something and I don't know what. Hold on.
You got it all. Oh, keep it to one per message, one question at a time.
Sorry, I was coughing. Yes, keep it to one question per bit message or super chat. Again, we just have a large volume of a lot of people here. We have over 100 people in our both combined chats. And you know, it's not fair if you get to ask 5 in one and other people haven't even asked 1. All right. Cool. Great. I still feel like I missed something, but I think we're
No
just
swearing
gonna
to me.
Yeah, no swearing, Doug. I think we're just gonna full send, you know?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Fantastic. Here we go. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Should a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie get a 4K release with a tribute to Jason David Frank?
What am I gonna say? No. Boy, that was set up. Yeah, but I mean, well, even if all that, tragically, even if that didn't happen, it's a very popular film. I mean, that's like, there's a lot of films that just because I'm not a fan of, I'm not going to say don't release a 4K of it. I mean, there's, the fans out there that love to see that. They love to see how awful that CG is in that movie. But no, I think a tribute, even though I'm sure it's a ton of tributes already, yeah, I'm sure it would mean a lot. On like a release of that. So yeah, no, absolutely.
Crunch Long, thank you for the $5 super chat. Here's two ideas to give Critkin for the next Nostalgia Ween. A, the Bald Mountain scene from Fantasia, or B, the Clown Cafe scene from Terrifier 2.
I guess we could like combine live action with animation on the Clown Cafe. Bald Mountain's not bad. We've talked about a few other ideas. Somebody recommended Grinch Night going inside the paraphernalian wagon. I think that's how you say it. I thought that was kind of a cool idea too. So we got some ideas.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have either of you seen the new Has Been Hotel episodes? No, sorry. I'll get to it.
No, not yet. Well, and now the nice thing is, for the most part, I'm caught up on Disney December stuff to watch. I still got to play the games and see, stuff like Zootopia 2 and stuff like that. But so watching stuff in the morning, I just started watching. I finished up Agatha all along, and then I'm watching Batman Begins. And now knowing that The Has Been Hotel is playing, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll probably just watch that in the morning. Then they'll probably because they're a half hour long, right?
I don't
Each
remember.
episode? I think they're a half hour each. So yeah, so that probably makes sense. I'll probably just watch those. So I will get to them soon.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy almost Halloween. This year, I'm dressing up as a Gen Z kid with a bright future ahead of him. Haha, can you imagine?
Good luck in every meaning of that.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What did you think of the Rick and Morty episode where the two Beths make themselves children again?
Oh, I like that one. I thought that was pretty funny. A pretty fun idea. Yeah, I like the idea that I think they did that before where they kind of showed she was kind of a psycho little kid, and then the idea of like two of them running around. But again, they're really smart, so they set up all these traps for Rick and seeing who can outsmart the other, how prepared he is for him, and then what he's not prepared for. So that stuff's always fun. Yeah, I like that episode.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug. So I rewatched the ending of your My Pet Monster review from when you were 28, and the ending really stuck with me. I'm currently 28 and will be 29 next week, and I feel like I'm in a bit of a life rut. My question for both of you is, do you have any advice for someone my age moving forward in life?
Boy, well, first of all, in that episode, that it was really more just of a joke. I wasn't really in a rut or anything like that. If anything, that led to the commercial special right after, so that was kind of fun. But I don't know. Just have a good support group, good friends, people to talk to. Have time to yourself as well. That I like to keep a balance personally. Julia Louis-Dreyfus had a really great line. I think she said her aunt quoted, but I love this line. She says, always have something to look forward to. And I love that. Even if it's just a tiny thing or a big thing or whatever, just always have something to look forward to. I think that's really good advice. And whenever it's not often, but whenever I'm feeling kind of down, I think it's something that usually helps out. Just like, okay, well, what am I looking forward to? If I don't have something, make something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, find something, it might be helpful to find something like journaling or something to like get some of your thoughts out and organize things, set some goals for yourself. You're only 28, you got so much life ahead of you, Sonny.
My mom, I always say this too. My mom always says, helping someone else. And it doesn't have to be saving them from a fire or throwing like millions at charity. It can be the tiniest thing. It could be listening to someone. It can be, just giving $1 to a charity or something like that. Just taking somebody out, or something like that. Like just the tiniest little things can really make a big difference.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you going to do 2017 Power Rangers in January, February, or after March?
I don't know. I think I have on the list. I don't think I'd do it. I don't know. double it because I know I have it on the list. I don't know if I do it in January though, because I feel like that won't probably do good. I try to do ones that are a little bit more experimental in January. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh, I didn't realize over on Twitch, our hype train isn't a regular hype train. It's a treasure train, which means we
Mm.
have a special deal right now where it's 35% off 5+ gifted subs for as long as the train is going, which it's on level 6 right now. So I'm just saying. Gift subs are 35% off for 5 or more bundles. Jager, thank you for the $10 super chat. Please review the shows Lab Rats and Mighty Med for Disneycember. Childhood favorites are some of the best Disney Channel original shows. At least put them on your list for future Disneycembers.
Boy, I never even heard of him. What's the name of the second one?
Mighty Med.
Mighty Met. Yeah, never
Lab
heard of
Rats
either of
and
them.
Mighty Med.
I'll try to look into them.
Yeah. Dave's Dragon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Nice Creep Show opening. He went from the Nostalgia Critic to the Nostalgia Creep. The Creep is the host of Creep Show.
Yes, yes. I mean, we do look very similar. I mean, we definitely have the same skin complexion, so I'll take it.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Bravely bold Miss Heather rode forth from Camelot. She was not afraid to die. Oh, brave Miss Heather. She was not at all afraid to be killed in nasty ways. Brave, 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 brave Miss Heather. Thank you. Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why haven't you done editorials in a long while?
They don't get views. When we came back and I said I was going to, do every other week a review and every other week an editorial, we could kind of afford to do. I mean, we can technically, but I don't know. There is kind of an impatient side of me too, that like writing them is very easy, filming them is very easy. Editing them is quick, but it's not usually that rewarding. Weirdly, there's something about doing just a regular review where I kind of like the order of it. I like the humor of it. I like the setup of the jokes and everything. And I get a little bit more passionate about them. So, yeah, it's kind of a mix of that, and they don't really get that many views. I mean, we are still, like I said, we have over 1 million subs. We have a ton of videos, over 1 million hits and everything. But I mean, like, we still gotta, fight the algorithm too, to stay in there and everything. So we try to do stuff to stay in there as well. So it's kind of a mix of all that.
Deshaun, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug. Maybe for next year, you can review Warm Bodies from 2013. If you remember the plot of the first Disney Zombies movie, this is basically the same plot, but predate it.
I think I saw that movie. Let me double check. Yeah. I think I remember liking it okay. I didn't really have a passion to, talk about or do a review on it. So, probably won't, but if I remember it being all right.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you going to review the Teacher's Pet series this year for Disneycember? Please.
Well, because you used a W, not this year. Maybe next year, because I remember seeing the movie, and the movie was pretty fun. So we'll see. That might be a fun one to get around to. If it's on DVD, no, it doesn't have to be on DVD. A show, sometimes I can find compilations online. So we'll see. We'll see.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $10 super chat. I finally watched War of the Roses for the first time, and you were right. It's gosh darn amazing. Only thing I would change is I'd remove that one shot of the dog right before Barbara says that line.
I see why you would do that. That didn't bother me. You know why it didn't bother me? Because you're constantly asking how far not only will this couple go, but how far will this movie go? And then you kind of laugh when you see how far it will go, and then also how far it won't go. And I really like that. I like it can get away with both. So it didn't bother me that much, but it's not like there isn't a ton of other dark stuff in the rest of it.
Case, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hot take. Robert Pattinson is the only live-action Batman that rivals Michael Keaton, in my opinion. His voice, attitude, and mannerisms are pretty much perfect. Bale had the attitude, but his voice was silly. What are you talking about?
There's people that agree with it. There's a really popular YouTube critic called Cosmonaut Variety Hour. He agrees with you. He sees it as the best live action Batman movie. I think just best Batman movie in general. And yeah, I think he didn't even get the Keaton that much. But that really surprised me. But yeah, no, there's people out there that agree with you. And I think he's great. I was really glad because there was talk before it came out that like there were changes and he might have dropped out. I was like, oh, I really wanted to see what that was like. So I'm glad they followed through. And I was very, very impressed with how he did. All those Twilight actors turned out to be really good. And that's really, really nice to see.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Question for Heather. Only Murders just wrapped its latest season this week. What did you think of it overall? My favorite episode was definitely when Mabel, Loretta, and Detective Williams crashed the casino party. I still haven't finished it, so I don't quite know the ending. So, who knows? It might change. It was overall good. I think the beginning, for some reason, didn't really hook me, but it did start to get me more invested. I still stand on, I don't love what they did with Charles this season. Him just like being so pathetically lonely and like even to the point of being catfished so obviously. I was like, ah. I mean, I know they're dopes, but like, he's not that much of a sad dope. Like, come on. But yeah, overall it was good. I liked the whole casino subplot and the billionaire club, I guess we'll call it the billionaires. Crunch Along, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know your thoughts on Psycho, but what does your wife think of the original Haunting?
Oh, she likes it. I don't know if she. A lot of times during this time of year, I'll put it on, and sometimes she'll watch it. Sometimes she, will go do something else. It's not one that like she absolutely has to watch, but if Psycho is on, she'll watch that. That's like one of her all-time favorite movies.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Any song recommendations from Bear McCreary? I know you said you're a big fan of his.
Boy, man, what's the one? There's one off his latest album that I love. Hold on. Hold on, a song, The Singularity, Bear McCreary. It's one I listen to over and over and over. Is it last time or hold on, the second to last song? That's what it is. Not the last one, second to last. Hold on. Second to last song. The End of Tomorrow. That's it. Yeah, I love that song. There's a part where it just repeats this last just a couple bars over and over, and these lyrics over and over. And when we saw him in concert, he had the whole audience singing. And only about half of us,
cool.
Had heard it. But like, you just get it really quick, and you want to keep singing. It just keeps building and building and building, getting cooler and cooler. I'm just like, I want to hear this again, like immediately after hearing it. And yeah, that's probably, even though the whole album's really cool, that's probably the one I've listened to the most.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Jurassic World Rebirth, what do you think of Site C overall? And do you think they should move most of the dinosaurs there to that island?
I think they should move to the city. I think they promise we're going to get like dinosaurs in the city, and they show it for a couple seconds. Oh, now we're back on the island. It's like, just put them in Chicago, New York, I don't care. Just, man, what a they keep teasing it and then they never do it. And then the last one's like, oh, now they're all dying. Like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of them on islands. You can do it in the first one, you can do it in the second one because it's a sequel and that's what was in the book. And then you can allow it in Jurassic World because they finally open up the theme park. That's fair. We all want to see the theme park. But after that, you gotta put him in the city. You gotta put him somewhere else because, man, the few times they were in the city, it looked so cool, it looked so awesome, and then they like never do anything with it. So yeah, that was a letdown.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, I enjoyed Tron Ares. I know there wasn't a lot of story, but at least it was something we haven't seen before. Tron in our world. Pretty cool.
I loved the spectacle of that movie, and I'm not gonna pretend like it worked or it came together, but it was very cool seeing it on IMAX, and I mean literally that. The visuals of it were amazing, and the soundtrack was amazing. So yeah, no, there's a lot of things I was very happy that I saw, not just in the film, but especially on IMAX.
Methuselah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, what's your number one favorite and number one least favorite movie this year so far? Or at least of the movies you can recall off the top of your head.
Sinners was pretty great. I just looked, man, 2025 movies. It keeps doing this thing where every time I highlight and type over, it's like it just types at the end. Stop doing that. I guess. Oh, Long Walk was really fantastic. Yeah, probably a toss up between Long Walk and Sinners. Worst. Again, I try to avoid bad movies. So I mean, I guess I'll say.
Ooh, Ozzy Manning has a
Oh,
good one. War of the Worlds, the Amazon War of the Worlds.
that's true. That is a good one. That's a good one to do. Yeah, either I'm looking at bad ones that came out here. Either like Snow White or Minecraft movie, probably.
Minecraft movie came out this year?
Yeah,
God, wow. Okay.
isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll go. I know. Yeah, I could technically do other ones like I don't know, like the remake of like How to Train Your Dragon, so because it's literally a shot for shot remake. But there's still stuff in there. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And that's kind of something where those other ones, I'm just like, yeah, no, there's not much here.
Digi Akuma, thank you for the $5 super chat. Haven't seen much in the way of old versus new in a while. Would you consider doing one? May I suggest Producers 68 versus Producers 95?
Oh, but that one's too. Yeah, everything would go to the original in that. But no, I don't do them because editing wise, they just take too much energy out of me. Even before I got the chronic fatigue, like I ran out of steam for those. So yeah, probably not. That was one that was asked for quite a bit, but again, I'm just like, what's the point? It's all gonna go to the old.
Oh, and Digi Akuma is making an amendment to their question that they meant Producers 2005, not 95.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think gives the better performance in Where the Wild Things Are? James Gandolfini as Carol or Max Records as Max?
I'll say Gandolfini, but man, it's close. His performance is a little bit more abstract. That's why I give it, a little bit more of a push there. But yeah, but the kid was really, really good.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Futurama, what do you think of Fry and Leela?
I don't. By the time it got to I mean, was it the third finale? I don't even know what it was, but the one where they're stuck in time. I'll say that. By the time it got there, I was like, okay, I believe this. I buy this. I buy their chemistry. I think this works. But man, that's a long time to wait to really believe that chemistry. On their own, they're fine. I mean, Fry's a lot funnier. But Leela's got some good moments. I take it back that when there's one moment where they finally got together, and I was like, okay, this is at least nice to see. And they did have some okay chemistry. I think that's what helped build up to that ending and having that be a pretty satisfactory ending, even though it wasn't an ending now. But yeah, I guess not the best, not the worst. It works just enough. It gets there. I'll say that. It gets there eventually.
Jimmy Vance, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Hanna-Barbera? I feel they have way more cartoon characters than most studios, but not as iconic, save for Scooby-Doo and Fred Flintstone.
And Tom and Jerry, that's a biggie. But well, that's kind of what's fun about them. Everybody talks about, these universes and crossovers and stuff like that. And some of the earliest ones again were I guess you could point to like something like the Disney cartoons or something like that, and the Universal monsters. But yeah, in terms of just taking like a universe where these characters constantly cross over, they did do that quite a bit. I used to watch the Laugh Olympics so many times as a kid. Hanna-Barbera is fantastic for kids. I still think Tom and Jerry is great for adults. When you get older, I more appreciate Hanna-Barbera for what it did and how it did revolutionize a lot in animation, even though the revolution was cutting corners, but they did in a very clever way. So all that was really, really cool. yeah, I have a soft spot for him, even though I'd be lying if I said I return to them often. I usually don't, but I do remember the memories of childhood. I remember a lot of the creativity, and I still love Tom and Jerry.
Chris G, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's an animated series or film that you ended up enjoying despite not liking its art style?
Uh, I mean, South Park. That's probably the biggest one. I mean, the art style was purposefully bad. Um, I never did see that Nickelodeon Ninja Turtle show, the CG one, and everyone says it's really good. And I literally didn't watch it because I could not take the animation. I hated looking at it. I still have the first season on DVD. Somebody gave it to me at a con. I should put it on, but I get the feeling I'm going to agree with everybody because when people tell me what happens in the show, I'm like, boy, that does sound great. That sounds like a really cool idea, a bunch of cool ideas. So I get the feeling I'm going to agree with them on that. But yeah, it's literally just getting over that art style that I can't stand.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $10 super chat. There's a rumor going around that a bunch of trailers for big movies will play before Avatar 3. The Odyssey, Supergirl, Spider Man Brand New Day, and even a first look at Avengers Doomsday. Thoughts?
I'm just going to take a wild guess and say Avatar 3 is going to be a very, very long movie. So, trailers are already very, very long on top of that. Christopher Nolan, is going to make some sort of ass long trailer for the Odyssey. I mean, it's just half the movie's going to be in there already. So, now that we have the internet and we can watch these things, I don't know if that's needed.
Lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Wild to think the Goosebumps movie is now 10 years old. I remember seeing it in theaters when I was a kid, just starting middle school back then, and I really enjoyed it. Heck, after watching the movie, it got me interested in reading the books, and I really liked them. To this day, that remains one of my fondest middle school memories.
I think that's great. Like I said, I reviewed Goosebumps because we did a members poll, and overwhelmingly that won. And I didn't know if people liked it or didn't like it, but I know I didn't like it. So I'm like, all right, I'll say my real thoughts, but I'll try to be as genuine as I can about what I love that Goosebumps did and R.L. Stein did, which I am very thankful for, and I think is wonderful. But yeah, I never got into it. I I like the mindset more, and I put this in the review that maybe this is kind of like the introduction to a lot of kids for a lot of scary ideas like the mummy or killer clowns or puppets coming to life and stuff like that. Like maybe this is their intro to that. Because I doubt they're going to go and watch a lot of classic Universal monster films or read Gothic novels and stuff like that, or Twilight Zones. So I do appreciate it for that a lot. Man, it's just not my thing. Yeah, I tried to show that throughout the whole thing. Like, look, this just isn't my thing. I'm so sorry. Somebody, I read one of the comments. One of the first ones I saw was time for Doug to bring up that he never read Goosebumps, instead read Stephen King. Get my bingo card ready. Up 3 minutes in, he did it. I was just like, yeah, I do mention that a lot.
You do.
But it's just
we
that,
get it, Doug. You're better than we are.
No, you know what it is? Cause I think part of it's because I've made fun of Stephen King then so much.
Yeah.
That I feel like now it's almost like an apology tour for that, because like there is a lot of good stuff too. So I don't know. It's like I'm trying to be contrarian to my own contrarianness.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about All Dogs Go to Heaven, Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise insisted that Don Bluth leave the room during recording sessions so that they could improvise off one another better. Despite his initial chagrin, Bluth would later admit that some of the film's best lines came from the improv.
Yeah, and what I love reading his biography is that apparently Burt Reynolds was doing a dog voice, or this kind of voice, and he couldn't convince him not to. It wasn't until he brought in Dom DeLuise, because he was pals with him, and he brought Burt Reynolds back, and Dom DeLuise was kind of making fun of the voice, but they were staying in character while doing that, and they were kind of improvising, and Dom knew this was a problem, so he was trying to show him that this is better. And he convinced him while staying in character, and that's what led to a lot of that improv. So, Dom DeLuise is one of those people that I feel like doesn't get enough credit. Like people know, who he is, and they like him and stuff like that. But he is one of those kind of like unsung comedic heroes that like people probably don't talk about enough.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Futurama, what do you think when Fry dated the mermaid?
Boy, I'm blanking on that. I thought that was Disenchantment. Honestly, I thought that was Bean. Um yeah, I don't remember. I mean, Futurama's had so many episodes. Yeah, so I don't remember that. I'm so sorry.
Sean, thank you for the $20 super chat. Why
Thank
doesn't
you.
Walter like Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Does he at least like the parade or the art museum scene? Not trying to bash his opinion, but there are worse movie characters out there. St. Elmo's Fire and Eight Crazy Nights.
And that's it. Nobody else. No, I know quite a few, but I do like that movie. But I know quite a few people who do not, and they do not like him, which is so ironic because that's one of the few Broderick performances where I actually do like him. But I get it. There's just a smugness to him that you kind of want to punch that derpy smile he's got. But but it works for me. I think it is one of those where it's like, just have fun, just enjoy yourself. Get in a little bit of trouble, kind of thing. I mean, everything's exaggerated in that story. Obviously, that's part of the joke. But no, but I do know people that they don't like it because they don't like him. And I'm like, fair. I can't act like I don't see it, but yeah, I have a good time with it.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Glenn Powell will host SNL in November. He celebrated on Instagram saying being in Spy Kids 3 paid off. So we have Robert Rodriguez to thank for him.
Cool. We have Robert Rodriguez to thank for a lot of cool things. So yeah, no, that's really neat.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Have either of you watched the Netflix show called You, starring Penn Badgley? And if so, what do you think?
I started it. I was liking it, and somewhere I fell off, and then my wife kept watching it, and I would just tune in every once in a while, and yeah, it still seems good. It seems like a good show and everything. I just somewhere kind of fell behind on it, but yeah, what I saw I liked.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you liked the concept of storybook characters coming to life in a movie, then you'll love Inkheart for an NC review.
I saw it when it came out. I didn't like it. There's some elements I like. I like Jim Broadbent as the author. I thought he was pretty fun, and I do like Andy Serkis. His performance was kind of fun too. No, I just boy, compared to something like Goosebumps, I at least remember the monsters coming to life and some of the things they did with it. Inkheart, man, I am struggling to remember anything about it. I don't remember being awful. I just remember being very boring, very bland. So yeah, probably not because I don't have that much of a passion to talk about. It was something where like a lot of people were like demanding me to do it. Then sure, I can find stuff to say about. But yeah, I don't know if it's that popular movie. Goosebumps is certainly more popular.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Taylor Momsen, who played Cindy Lou in the 2000 Grinch, said she found her love for music when working with James Horner on the movie and is now a successful musician.
That's nice to see because, man, she was not a good singer in that. but she's also a little kid. She's
Right.
going to call Cindy Lou little Cindy Lou, so she was pretty tiny and everything. So, no, that's cool to hear. That's really, really neat, actually.
Keyblade Master, thank you for the $5 super chat. Jack Black in Psychonauts 2 has a less silly voice than Jack Black in Goosebumps, and that role was all voice. In short, please play Psychonauts soon.
I played the VR game at one point without even knowing what it was. And I kind of liked the look of the world and the characters and stuff like that. I thought it was a lot of fun. I forget if we have that down because I know that's like a pretty popular franchise. I'll put it down as a possibility.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Flight of the Navigator, what do you think of the villain, Dr. Faraday?
He's great because he's not a villain. I mean, that's what's like. He's an antagonist. But so as a kid, I'm watching this thing. Oh, poor Davy. Oh, I sympathize with because I'm a kid, and now that I'm an adult, I really sympathize with Faraday. I'm like, this is the biggest discovery ever. But oh no, he can't be 2 days away from his parents. Come on, there's aliens out there, man. We're looking for aliens. So, but at the same time, he does to push things too far you get and stuff like that. But I also love that like NASA has like a lot of power in this. He's like, NASA has required you to stay under house arrest and stuff like that. And like when the secretaries leave here or whatever, it's like, I'm sorry, we have to escort you back to the office. I'm like, who is NASA? And NASA's like the FBI in this apparently. So yeah, I loved all of that. Like I said, I actually really sympathize with him quite a bit.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your favorite Universal monster movies, and who is your favorite Universal monster in general?
Probably the Frankenstein monster. That's such a great. I remember being a kid watching that, just feeling for him so much. I just felt so bad for him. And yeah, the Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula. I just saw 10 years ago. I actually didn't grow up with it or anything, and I loved that. Wolfman I saw around the same time, and I love that. I still have The Invisible Man here. I haven't watched it. So I got to get the original.
Tisk,
and
tisk, tisk,
no,
tisk.
it's terrible. Yeah, no, I really should. But yeah, those are some of my favorites.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hi, Heather. Have you ever experienced students doing pranks with the attendance sheet with names like Amanda Hug and Kiss, Seymour Butts, and Lou Senor Trousers? Oh, there we go. I got that. That one took me a second to figure out, but we got there. Never with the attendance sheet. But that's because those came straight from The Office. And I mean, honestly, I'm not going to see the name Seymour Butts and be like, yeah, that's a real, scrawled at the bottom of my page and be like, yeah, that's real. That's for real.
No, the worst. Oh, go ahead.
I did have prank wars with my other teacher besties every now and then, but never the students with the attendance sheet.
No, the worst is when you probably read a name, be like, oh, haha, very funny. Who put this down? Like, that's my real name.
Yeah, I only had that happen one time, and it was because, man, this is what you feel like. There should be rules about naming children. The kid's name was Large, like Large.
Wow.
Large, because his parents thought it was hilarious because their last name was Hooker. So this child's government name is Large Hooker.
I bet that kid was loved and not made fun of at all.
He must have, like, the second he turned 18, I bet he changed his name. Like, what? His government name? Who let you name a child that?
Or became a hooker. Never know.
Maybe he just leaned into it.
Maybe.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Question for both: favorite scene/line from Hocus Pocus? Also thoughts on Danny from that movie. For a child actress, she's pretty good.
Yeah, I remember the acting. I mean, better than fine. Those three actresses are great. My favorite line? Again, that's the thing.
I have it embroidered on a towel. Another glorious day makes me sick.
Yeah, I always see that everywhere. I mean, that's the thing. I don't like the writing in the movie. I love their deliveries. I love the way they say the lines. I just remember, like, before they get on the bus, she just says something like, "What is this contraption?" or something like that. She just, "Hello, what is this contraption?" And it's like, that's not a funny line, but just the way she says it is fantastic. So I guess that's standing out for now. But yeah, I don't know. It's even when I think of the lines, I'm like, no, that's not funny. That's not funny. It's just the way they said it.
Right. Loopy Shot, thank you for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. To the dapperest Doug and honorable Heather, I need to know, what is the most hardcore and scariest movie you two would survive and get a happy ending if you two plopped in it? Don't downplay yourselves. Show off your genre savviness.
I'm not guaranteed. Actually, you know what? I feel like both of us.
Oh yeah.
I think with both of us, I think we could get out of this and we could get the happy ending. What's it? It just came out. It's a Hugh Grant movie. Hugh Grant.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I didn't see it, but I think I know what you're talking about. Where he's like
Heretic. That's the name. Yeah. Because the whole thing is like this kind of battle of wits. A little bit, but he does cheat. That's the thing. So that's the one thing where I'd be like, hey, wait, you can't just cheat. You can't do that. This is like a battle of like faith and wits and stuff like that. So I feel like with both of us, like, because a lot of it is talking about like religion and stuff like that, and like I feel like together, like we could probably get out of that.
I don't know. I feel like if most of the horror scenarios, I would just be like, just kill me. just, just shoot me. Honestly, I don't know, man.
No, I did see that. That's where it worked because I'd be like, ooh, I kind of like the game. Let's go. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't have nearly as much religious know-how as you do. So like, you could help me out there. So like, we
Amazing.
feed off each
We'd
other.
make a
Yeah.
great team. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, Doug.
like
That
it.
we're gonna team up to survive that.
Yeah, I like that.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Giraffe Heather, do you watch any of the Charlie Brown holiday specials annually? I watch them every year. None that we really watch every year. We used to watch the pumpkin. It's the Great Pumpkin often. Well, that used to be something that I would show to my students every now and then. They'd be like, "Can we watch a Halloween movie?" And I'd be like, "Sure, Charlie Brown," because I know they wanted to watch like some kind of horror movie or something, and I'd be like, "No, no, no.
Like, yeah.
Here you go. Here's Charlie Brown, kids. Do you want a movie day or not?"
Good point.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Goof Troop is being streamed on YouTube with a 24-hour marathon. Be sure to check that out, critic.
I mean, I saw them all growing up. I watched several of them again when we did the Disney Afternoon retrospective. So I remember it well enough.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you guys seen Marvel Zombies? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, I haven't.
Have not.
Sorry.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I know Mrs. Brisby were B first, so how would you rank these other Don Bluth characters? Feifel from American Tail, Littlefoot from Land Before Time, and Charlie from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Charlie would be, I think he's a pretty fun character. Then probably Littlefoot, then Feifel, even though those two are kind of similar, but Feifel, I think, is supposed to be younger, so you kind of get him not making as many connections as like Littlefoot does. But I think because of that, Littlefoot has a little bit more to work through because he kind of out of nowhere has to become a leader, and obviously that's not going to happen with Feifel. So that makes him a little bit more interesting.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you finally finished Agatha, tell us, Doug, what did you think?
I liked it. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I hated the first episode because I didn't get into WandaVision. The whole thing is just another episode of that. I'm like, oh. And then the second episode got a little better. I'm like, all right, this is kind of keep my interest. And the third episode, when they're actually on the road, I got really, really invested. The only thing I was kind of like, oh, come on, was that it's a to be continued. But I guess they're going to continue it in Vision. I guess they're giving Vision a show. So that I don't mind too much because at first I was like, are they really going to give Agatha All Along a second season? But if they're doing that, that's not that bad an idea. The only issue I had, I love Aubrey Plaza. I kind of thought she was miscast. I didn't really believe her in that role. Every other role she's been in, whether comedic or dramatic, I believe it. That one I just didn't buy. But everything else I really like. Good twists, good surprises in it. The atmosphere is great. Just the idea of going on this road, kind of this black magic road trip movie, I think is really cool. It's got a great dark edge to it. So yeah, no, the episode where you see why the one witch keeps kind of blacking out, I thought that was a very, very cool reveal. No, it kept me guessing, and I couldn't predict where it was going, so I really, really dug it quite a bit.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. And Malcolm in the Middle, what do you think of Hal and Lois?
Oh, I love them. I love Hal and Lois. I don't know. There's something relatable about them. I don't know what it is. Maybe because you do feel the love between them, but they know they're unconventional. They know there's like an element of just surviving. There's a sense that they didn't love each other. Just they would not be able to do any of this. And I think that goes for the kids too. If they didn't love the kids, they wouldn't be able to do any of this. And that is one of the reasons why they're so harsh, especially Lois is so harsh on them and everything. And one of the reasons they're so either harsh or kind to each other. Hal's usually too kind, Lois is usually too harsh, but you see why. And yeah, no, I love them as a couple. I love them as a family, even though they're incredibly destructive.
The fifth, Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. TIL, the director of Mulan, proposed a sequel with Mulan fighting the undead Hun army with her ghost ancestors. Instead, we got asshole Mushu. Why?
For a second, I thought you were talking about the live action one. I was like, really? And I'm like, well, but with that crew, that same whatever. And then I'm like, oh, the anime one. I'm like, yeah, man, that would have been cool. That would have been really cool if they did that. Yeah, shame.
Noff Noff, thank you for that 74-month subscription over on Twitch.
You.
Welcome back. Appreciate that. They say, hello, Doug and Heather. And yesterday was the 25th anniversary of As Told by Ginger.
Cool. I know what that is. I've only seen it at the beginning of Digimon the movie. So, yeah, I guess they had. Wait, is that the one? No, maybe it's not. I might be getting it wrong. Hold on. As Told by Ginger. I got that completely wrong.
Okay.
I've never seen this show. I've heard of it. Yeah, I guess I really had no idea what it was. So I guess I should watch it.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Really appreciate that. And they just said, here is for level 6. Thank you for the hype train at that time. 37 minutes ago. Deb the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Any good short horror films recommendations to check out this spooky season?
I mean, if you watch any of my dark tunes, I'll go into, just about all of those are pretty good. Man, let me see. Yeah, a lot of them are like, I feel like I've covered them on dark tune. I mean, there are good like short films out there, but like, yeah, it's hard to know where to like watch them. Yeah, I'm blanking. I've seen a lot of good ones, but I'm totally blanking. I'm sorry.
Also, chat would like you to know you were thinking of Angela Anaconda before.
Yes, that was it.
Yes.
I was like, wait, no, it's like a different name. What was it again? So yeah, thank you.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Can we get a clue for the next review?
No clue. I can't. It was brought up earlier. Somebody brought the movie up earlier this stream, so there's your clue.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. And then I think they hit enter too early on accident. I'm sorry. It just says,
no, I don't know. Sorry.
Don't you know, Doug? Gosh. Sean 49 Doctor, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, you two. Well, another death in the Doctor Who universe took place recently with the passing of Nabil Shaben, the small actor who played the villain Syl in 2 classic Who adventures, Vengeance on Varos and parts 5 to 8 from Trial a Time Lord. Both are worth checking out.
What's the actor's name?
Nabil, Nabil, and then the last name is Shaban, Shaban.
Just gotta see if I recognize him from anything else. No, I sure don't. Yeah, Doctor Who seems to be the main thing. Yeah, no, like I said, I've seen like 2 Doctor Who episodes. That's it. So I know it's a good show. I just haven't gotten around to it. There's like a million of them. So no, it's sad to hear regardless.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $5 super chat. I've gotten myself a Switch 2 for my 24th birthday on the 24th of October. Your golden birthday. Have any of you gotten the console yourselves? I just bought it on Saturday.
Okay.
I started playing on our Twitch channel on Monday nights, if you're interested at all. I just started playing Pokemon ZA, and I've been holding off, and I don't know what it was, but there was something where I was like, okay, I'll get the Switch 2 for Pokemon. So I haven't had too much of a chance to play around with it, but I cannot wait to play Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2. Oh my gosh, I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous. I'm very excited.
And I don't even have a first Switch, so yeah, sure, shows you where I am with that. You can ask the next question. I'm just gonna let chat out here.
Also, happy birthday then, Ice Luigi, for it was your 24th birthday on the 24th. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, are you going to see Begonia?
I think so. So originally I was gonna see it this week, maybe with Brad for midnight screenings, and I was maybe gonna do a video on it, but then I forgot there's another video dropping this week, so it's kind of like, maybe I don't necessarily need to do another video this week because we got another one going up. But if Brad's still gonna see it for midnight screenings, I'll see it with him.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. I saw the re-release of Paranorman this weekend, and man, it was great. Not only is the movie still awesome all these years later, but I had a lot of fun. Plus, there was a sneak peek for Leica's next movie, Wildwood, and there was even a Paranorman short that played before the movie started, even though I did see the movie when it came back. Oh, sorry, when it came out back in 2012. I was still so cool seeing it again on the back screen years later as an adult versus when I was a kid.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see. I did see Coraline when they re-released that, and that was really cool. But yeah, sadly, I miss Paranorman. But yeah, no, it's a cool. I mean, it's a cool movie in general. But yeah, definitely a cool big screen experience.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. Of all the commercial specials there have been over the years, not once has there been a segment on Fabio's Not Butter ads. Just saying.
I'll give him a while. Well, you could recommend it. We literally just dropped a thing saying, "Hey, give us commercial recommendations." So maybe it's on there. But yeah, aside from him just being in them, I can't think. Maybe there's a couple of jokes we can do. I don't know. I'll give it a watch.
Fandom Theorist, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, I was wondering, why did you stop reviewing TV shows? Also, is there a movie you plan to review that could bring screaming NC back?
In order to bring Screaming NC back, I had to bring back my Scream, which isn't as strong as it used to be. But I don't do TV shows that much because they take a lot more time to edit. And like I said, even before I got chronic fatigue, I was just kind of having a harder time editing them. I'm getting older and I'm still doing majority of the work on them. So yeah, it can take its toll after a while.
The Minnesota Superstars, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, what's your thoughts on Johnny Depp being casted as Scrooge in the next Christmas Carol, and have you seen the Netflix animated one?
Yeah, man. What a bizarre take. Some things I thought were very cool. Other things are so head scratching in it. It's baffling. Did you ever see this, Heather?
No, I didn't.
It's the Albert Finney Scrooge, but the songs are all redone like Greatest Showman. It's the same songs, but they're just completely redone and reorchestrated. And the the visuals are supposed to kind of match that too, and the singing, and it is so bizarre. It's kind of one of those, like, it'd be worth seeing just to see what the hell's going on kind of thing. But in terms of Depp playing him, I don't know. I hope it's good. I love the story. Even a bad Christmas Carol, I love to see. So yeah, even if it doesn't work, I'll still be curious to see how it doesn't work.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Ricardo Montalban character do you think is funnier? Armando Gutierrez from Freakazoid or Senor Senior Senior from Kim Possible?
Oh man, that's all right. Objectively, probably the Kim Possible character is better, but just for giggles and pure giving into geek fandom and stuff like that, probably Freakazoid gets more of a laugh out of me.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of my new anime? It's called Super Chill Nice Guy Chronic Fatigue Critic. His friends are a talking pie named Aaron A. Aronson and Isaac from Children of the Corn.
Just a talking pie. That just makes me giggle. I have not seen it, but I already love it.
I love that it's Super Chill Nice Guy Chronic Fatigue Critic.
Yeah. I mean, it could be anyone.
Yeah. JK, thank you for the 100 NOK through Super Chat. If Rob is the Mario of the Walkers, would Doug be the Luigi of the Walkers?
I was trying to think of a line John Leguizamo said from the Mario Brothers movie, but I can't think of it. Like, all the lines belong to Koopa in a monkey. I can't think of anything he would say. Also, Walter does the better impression, we found out. So yeah, I'll just say yes. Though I'd much rather be Koopa.
Moonlight, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug and Heather. As a fellow fan of A Christmas Story, what were your thoughts on A Christmas Story Christmas? Despite some cheesy moments, I thought it was a loving follow up.
I agree. It was better than I thought it would be. I was not expecting it to be good, so I was happy I was getting into it as much as I was. But you're right. Some of those corny moments are like, oh, like this could have been like legit really, really good if they didn't have so many of those lame callbacks and nostalgia baiting and all that. But when it worked, it did really work. And sometimes it was a little too corny, but other times it had just the right amount of bite to it. I think that's what surprised me in a pleasant way, is that there was a bite to it. That most versions would probably play it too safe, like that Christmas Story 2 version or the musical and stuff. So yeah, so I'm glad they sort of kept that in there.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $10 super chat. Since you did Tangled the series and Lilo and Stitch the series for Disney-cember, are you going to watch the others like The Little Mermaid show, Timon and Pumbaa, or the Big Hero 6 show?
I watched Timon and Pumbaa for Disney Afternoon. I actually thought it was okay. I don't get into those characters, but I thought that show was actually pretty funny. Little Mermaid, I don't really have that much interest in. I feel like there's a ton of other Disney shows people would probably want me to see. I guess I'll look I never did see Big Hero 6. I think I heard good things about that, so maybe I'll look into that one.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, what are your thoughts on Hellraiser?
I've only seen the first two movies. I respect the first movie, though I don't get that much into it. And if people said I would, I kind of knew they'd be right. I love the second one. The second one is so much fun. It is so creative, so crazy. Like when you see, Pinhead on the cover, it says Hellraiser. I'm like, that's the movie I expect to see. And I had a ball with it. And then I hear, no, the others are that good. So I didn't watch them.
Potato Head fan, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, you should play Yoshi on NES and show off your amazing skills on stream. Heh, because Yoshi, your game.
If I could find anyone to play with me. No, that we did, when James was still doing James and Mike plays or weekends, Mondays, whatever, he was visiting. So I did a couple. And we were doing Yoshi. I'm like, oh yeah, and I got it. I just, I was still great. I still had the touch because everyone's either good at Tetris or good at Dr. Mario. So when Yoshi came out, and I wasn't good at either of them. So when Yoshi came out, I said, okay, I'm gonna master this game. This is gonna be my game. It literally was only my game because nobody even remembers the game even exists. There's no Yoshi tournaments. There's no big cash prize for being the best at Yoshi. There's nothing like that. And even all that wouldn't matter. I would just love to see if I'm the only one who remembers this game is actually the best. I would love if there was some sort of pointless competition for it. But alas.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Something I like about All Dogs Go to Heaven is that while Let's Make Music Together comes out of nowhere and leaves you wondering what was the point of that, King Gator comes back to help Charlie in the climax.
Yeah, he technically does. That's something we pointed out a few times, is that the original Big Lipped Alligator moment technically isn't a Big Lipped Alligator moment because it technically comes back in. They even drop hints to it a little early, but it's still... Even with that in there, it still seems so spontaneous and out of nowhere and doesn't fit into the rest of the story. It kind of feels like a Deus Ex Machina, where it's like it's just there to save the day at the end or get rid of the bad guy at the end, and there's no other reason it's there. So I still kind of counted. I still think like people know what we're talking about when we mention that because it just doesn't fit in the rest of it. But but it is bonkers. It is just like so strange when you see it. So yeah, no, it's something.
CCella, thank you for the $5 super chat. So it's been 7 years since I made a Nostalgia Critic makeup tutorial, and I never got a shout out. For please shout me out, Doug.
Watch the Nostalgia Critic makeup tutorial. Which one? Because I know there's hundreds of them out there. You'll know. It's the one this person mentioned.
Step 1, cover your face in concealer. That's it. That's the whole
That's
look.
it.
Become white.
Just white. I mean, not even that. Just like whipped cream. Just smear it on.
Jeremy, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a joke in a bad movie that makes you laugh? For me in Goosebumps, the way JB throws the vase and says, "I could have killed you," really cracks me up.
I like the follow up, just like wasn't even close. You could no, you couldn't have. But a joke in a bad movie, like there's usually quite a few because I'm so and a lot of times I'm so desperate for a laugh in a movie that's not funny. That if even the tiniest funny thing happens, I'll usually have like an overreaction to it. Um, man, I don't know. Oh, I mean, I made a joke about it in the review, but like the fart joke in Master of Disguise, the Brent Spiner one, it really does kind of go on this weird journey of like starting off kind of funny and then it gets really bad and then it starts to become funny again, then kind of gets bad again, and it just leaves you with this strange feeling. And it's the only joke in the movie I feel like, okay, that got like a legit laugh out of me at least once.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Balto, what did you think of Muck and Luck?
Are those the I forget, those are the polar bears or the
It's
which
been
we'll
a
call
while
it
since I've seen it. I really don't
henchmen
know.
from Balto. They sound like no, they are the polar bears. Yeah. I like the way they're animated. I don't remember getting into them too much outside of that. I kind of forget they're in the movie, but I do remember the way they're drawn, the way they move. Like, yeah, that was kind of neat.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Idea, have Walter on a stream just so I can have Heather sing the Sisters song from White Christmas to annoy him. Sisters, sisters. Sorry.
No, you gotta do the one from the twin series. The sister.
Oh.
Rob White describes it as the most annoying theme song ever. He's like, it literally opens with babies crying.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Top 3 worst sequels to great horror movies.
uh, Boy, I mean, can we include like part 3 or part 4 or whatever? I mean, that's kind of like a big
I think
question there.
it just says worst sequels, so I would assume that.
That Texas Chainsaw one on Netflix was pretty abysmal. Boy, yeah, I'd have to like worst horror sequels. I mean, a lot of people put like Jaws: The Revenge on there. I mean, that's pretty. Oh, Blair Witch 2, that was pretty impressively awful. Yeah, look at other ones here. I mean, you could go so far as to say, like, Troll 2. I mean, that's like the most famous, one of the most famous bad movies of all time. Um, I guess I'll go with those for now.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. Not only did I rewatch Paranorman this month, but I also rewatched Coraline as well, and even rewatched it before rewatching Paranorman. After rewatching both of them, I can confirm that while Coraline is probably the better movie, I even prefer Paranorman more. Not only have I seen it more times than Coraline and have more nostalgia for it, but it hits me more on an emotional level, and I love the twists and turns of it that includes in the story.
Yeah, I usually say Coraline has the better characters, Paranorman has the better story. And you put them together, maybe you get Kubo. I don't know, but yeah, it's they're both very good. They're good they're good bookends to watch around Halloween.
Ben, thank you for the $5 super chat. Given how annoying the "as you know" line is in bad movies, is it more or less annoying when you hear it in a good movie?
Sometimes they use it for the same reason in a good movie, and that's always a shame. But there are other times where they'll use it and they're using it in a way to show I'm saying this to mock you. I don't know why this is coming in my head, but in that Banana Splits movie, with the animatronics, that was clearly supposed to be a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. He's talking to these animatronics that can't move but are technically alive, and he says something like, "As you know, you can't move at all while I go and live my life and go blah blah blah." That's okay because they're doing that in a mocking manner. That they're not telling him so they know as to get exposition out. It's supposed to be said in a way that's supposed to be, kind of digging the knife into them. So, when it's done like that, I think it's usually okay. I'm sure somewhere somebody else could use it in a way that's fine. And I have heard it once in a while in a good movie, but it's usually a sign that you're gonna watch something bad.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of Futurama, a new episode had this quote: Crabosauruses ruled the box office with endless Crabasic park movies. We get it. They were big animals.
Yeah, but that seems to win everybody over. Don't go see it a million times because of that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. And Balto, what do you think of the final battle between Steel and Balto?
You know, I don't remember. I remember a lot from that movie. I'm trying to remember the big final battle. I remember him rushing through the icicles, falling, all these things, the storm and everything. I don't remember the big battle with Steel. It's so funny. So I guess it must not have left that big an impression on me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. You said that Alistair Sim and George C. Scott are your favorite Scrooges. Which one of them do you think does the Epiphany scene better?
Uh, I feel like there's a couple epiphanies in there. Like I think I need to know more what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I hate to. If you bring it up in chat, maybe Heather can spot it, or I don't know. Can you spot it if it pops up, or do you have to scroll?
Yeah,
or
I
something?
can spot it if they say it right now.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we can go to the next question. We'll try to keep like an eye out for that. But yeah, I legit don't know which epiphany scene.
Oh, they just said
about.
when he promises to change.
Gotcha. Who does that better? Even though I would probably say Alistair Sim is the better Scrooge overall, because that's the most unique one. That's so uniquely his. I do like the Epiphany scene a little bit more with Scrooge, because when he follows it with the laughter, you really do feel like he's just exploding with laughter. Like, he's not even moving like that much or that crazy, but I mean, just the laughter and the joy, everything is just so believable. But with that said, I love the afterwards of Alistair Sim when after he gives Bob the raise and everything, at some point he just throws down his pen like he's angry. It's like, I don't deserve to be so happy. Like he's almost miserable that he's happy, and then he starts laughing again. But I can't help it. It's such a great moment. So yeah, I guess I'll go with George C. Scott, but again, it's very close.
TV's Monokuma, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you heard of the game Goodbye Sweet Carol? It's a horror game in the vein of Clock Tower in the Disney/Don Bluth art style.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I've seen a lot of trailers for it. I think it's out now. That'd be a cool one to play at some point. I'll put that down as like, maybe we can do that for like I don't know if it's like a popular game right now, but I was interested in it. What's again? It's called Sweet Carol.
Goodbye Sweet Carol.
Goodbye Sweet Carol. Yeah, I'll put that down as a possibility.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. What are you looking forward to the most with Zootopia 2? For me, I'm looking forward to hearing Patrick Warburton as a horse.
For me, I like the different parts of the city. Probably my favorite scene in there is just when she's chasing a weasel through like a muskrat or a mouse village or a hamster village, something like that, and just the angles they got in that city, it really felt like that city was there, and it has a way of like working and everything, so that when she stepped on something or crashed something, you're like, oh no, they got rebuilt that. Like the world just felt so real. So I love when they do that, when they have different parts of the city and the environments and how they live there. That's the stuff I think is the coolest. So I'm excited to see what else they're gonna do with that.
The Minnesota Superstars, thank you for the $5 super chat. NC on King Kong 2005, since it's going to be 20 years old.
It's funny. I have a review coming up where it was an old versus new that I did, but some people have been saying, well, why don't you just do the movie itself? So I'm going to do that. That's another one where I did old versus new. And I guess I'll see how this one does. If it does well and people like it, maybe I'll do the King Kong one, but I gotta see if there's an audience, because I've done it before. I've done like Batman, Dark Knight, and the Lord of the Rings movies and stuff, but I'm curious to see how this one will go. If this one goes well, maybe I'll do King Kong. I won't be this year, though. It'll probably be the following year if I do.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the Beetlejuice sequel?
I did a Untitled review show. You can see that there, but I liked it, even though there's a ton of things wrong with it. I mean, very, very clearly. But the stuff that works is not only really fun and funny, but it's very unique, and there is a lot of repeat. But even sometimes when they repeat it, sometimes it's annoying. Other times they commit to it so well and in such a fun way that I get into it. And it's the same thing when they do something different as well. So it worked just enough for me. There's enough for me to say, okay, this is worth it, especially the practical effects. That was just so nice to see in a movie. And it was cheaper than like all these multi-million dollar movies are using CG. And it's like these use a lot of practical effects and they looked better and it was cheaper. So why don't they do that?
Daryl, thank you for the $14 super chat. I find it weird when people don't agree if a movie effect is good or not. Example, you think Smaug looked fake, yet to me there were times he looked as real as Gollum. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Sometimes, sometimes it can be. Actually, I think a lot of times it can be the way you watch, where you see on the big screen or a small screen. When I saw the Joss Whedon Justice League, I didn't notice the lip thing, and then when we watched it again on the small screen, we're like, how can you miss that? I mean, it's like right there. So sometimes the distortion, whether bigger or smaller, can make a difference. Also, sometimes just the brightness on a TV or your computer monitor, that can make a difference too. So I honestly, as much as I make fun of bad effects and stuff, I don't envy the people that have to do them,
Yeah.
because even people working on their computers, it's like their monitor could be turned up or down or whatever, and even if they just have whatever the computer measures out the exact lighting in that scene, still it can look off, so somebody would have to adjust it a little bit. So I don't know. I think and then sometimes it depends how much you see. When what's his name from Rogue One? They brought Peter Cushing. When they brought him back, I'm like, well, yeah, the texture looks right, but the face movement and everything looks off. And if you said that back then, people were like, "You SOB, that was the best." It looked like he was brought back to life. It was a wonderful. And now people are looking back, saying, "Yeah, that looks a little weird." And it's like, I think I've just seen that done a lot in other movies where I can recognize kind of the weird lip movements and kind of the dead eyes and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's I think all that plays a factor.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. They are doing a new Secret of Nim TV series, guys. Thoughts?
Huh. Uh, I'm open to it because the book is different from
Yeah,
the movie.
that's what I was
There's
going to
several
say.
things about it. Yeah.
There's things to
Um,
explore from the book series.
yeah, definitely. I'll be curious to see if they. It's gonna sound weird. I hope they don't keep stuff from the movie that wasn't in the book. You know what I mean? Like keep the
Yes.
stone out of it and stuff like that. I would prefer something that's more like, because we have that movie and the movie's
Right.
fantastic. And now
Right.
let's get something like the book. I love for them to do that with Neverending Story. I love for
Ooh,
them to
yeah.
do it like the original book too, and keep closer to that. Even though I love the original film.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. In Hocus Pocus 2, what do you think of the scene where Sarah and Mary die? That whole scene and Bette Midler's acting is what saved the movie for me.
Boy, that's so funny because I know so many people that said that killed the movie for them. I was hugely indifferent to it because I like them comedically. I don't really care if they're trying to do something legit or emotional or anything like that. So I was very, very indifferent to it. And again, like the first movie, the film I couldn't get into, but I loved them. They were great.
They're
It was great to
wonderful.
see them. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal chemistry.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are you going to be for Halloween, Doug?
I actually have the costume right here. Um,
Oh boy.
you look at that, you're not gonna be able to really figure that out. But you see that, you see something that looks Q-ish there. You might be able to put that together. So yeah, at some point you just gotta lean into it.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Heat, which of the two leads do you think gives a better performance?
I'll say De Niro. But they both are good. Pacino was it's funny because I feel like I feel like De Niro now in his later years kind of become a parody of himself, where Pacino became a parody earlier. And they're both very good in that movie, but Pacino was already kind of a parody at that time. So it's kind of hard for me not to see that. Where De Niro was still like, no, he can still play like really legit, really good. Like when he did a movie, it was still like kind of an event, kind of thing. Um, but even outside of that, I still think he's more quiet, he's more reserved. I like just seeing the subtle little, twitches in his eye and stuff like that. Um, they get across a lot, but it should be that way. And Pacino should be the opposite in that respect. But they both have over the top moments and subtle moments too. So and I'll say De Niro, but they're both very good.
Darian, thank you for the 15 PEN through Super Chat. Greetings from Peru. Dear Doug, have you ever watched the dubbed version of a movie? Some movies are saved because of the voice actors. Even Gal Gadot is tolerable in Justice League.
I must be one of the few people thought she was totally fine at Justice in both. I thought she was fine. But yeah, I've seen the dub version of some movies, and I am glad a lot of dubs are better now. Well, even back then, sometimes some dubs would be good. The Seven Seal has a very good dub, and some of the actors came back. Well, Max von Sydow because he could do both. I think dubs his own voice in that. So yeah, no, it's always really cool when they get that down well, but at the same time, it is always nice hearing the original performance too. And of course, in like anime and stuff, I mean, I hear a lot of dubs, but I've also seen a lot of subs too.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you hear that Amazon is remaking Lord of the Rings for a, quote, modern audience?
What does that mean?
I know, right?
I don't know, Yogi. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, anything's possible, but I don't know.
Lexi Lulz, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, are you a Cronenberg fan? I'm just getting into his work and I'm already blown away. Dead Ringers and The Fly were both incredible.
It's so funny. I started watching Dead Ringers, the series, without even knowing it was a Cronenberg movie. And I got to finish the series, and I want to go back and watch the movie. I know it's like a gender flip, which does make me go, oh, okay, I wonder how this is with Jeremy Irons playing the Rachel Weisz, part. But so I want to see that. But for the most part, yes. I'm not going to act like I'm obsessed with his work, but I do enjoy a fair amount. The Fly is like one of the great remakes. Talk about taking an idea, just taking it in a whole new direction, but it still feels like it's the same spirit, it's the same idea. That is like one of the most unique, great remakes out there, I feel like.
JK, thank you for the 100 NOK through Super Chat. Do you think Al McWiggin from Toy Story 2 looks like Cinema Snob, or am I weird for thinking that? Though not heard how his character sounds like in the English dub, but he was hilariously wonky.
I mean, he sounds like Newman. It sounds like Wayne Knight, who plays him in the English version. But a touch like Brad was definitely heavier when we knew him. I don't think it was quite that heavy, and he wasn't that bald yet. I can see it a bit. It wouldn't have jumped out at me, but when you mentioned that, I'm like, I can kind of see a bit. But again, back then, I definitely can't see it now. Like how he is now.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of Flight of the Navigator, I know you've talked about it before, but would you do a nostalgia critic on it?
I don't think it would get views. I could talk about it forever. I've done like a Disney Sembrot. I think somebody a long time ago did like a little making of documentary on YouTube or something like that. I mean, it's just a little, like I said, it's just a YouTuber doing it, but I talked about it there as well. So we'll see. If I have like a real passion just out of nowhere to really, really talk about it, I might do it as like a January review or something. But yeah, as of now, I've talked about it so much. I'm okay taking a break for a while.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. I'm glad you enjoyed Agatha all along. Have you gotten the chance to watch other Marvel shows like Hawkeye or season 2 of Loki? Those are really good.
No, and I have heard they're good. Loki especially, I want to see. And I am curious about Hawkeye because a lot of people said turns out pretty decent.
Well, Watch it during the holiday
Okay.
season. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, well, yeah, Hawkeye is a kind of a
Mhm.
Christmas show, isn't it?
Mhm.
So yeah, so it might make sense to do then.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Justin from Secret of Nim?
Good. I mean, he's supposed to be the dashing hero with the sword at the end and stuff. But I mean, like sometimes we have that blank a slate, sort of that generic bland a setup. Some people see it as a great opportunity to bring something really charming and new to it, and others just bring exactly what you would expect to. And I feel like that actor did bring quite a bit to it, and even the writing, I think it did give him a mind. This was a guy who wasn't just there to swing the sword around. Like, there were gears moving in his head, and he was ethical and everything. It had a good comedy to him and everything. So yeah, no, I thought he worked pretty well.
Methuselah, thank you for the $5 super chat. When I was a kid, I loved Goosebumps, but the build up to the scary monster was always more interesting and exciting to me than the monster itself.
Yeah, that's so. I didn't read many Goosebumps stories. So I read one R.O. Stein book on it. I think it was like one of those Fear Street ones, and I read one Goosebumps one, and neither one did anything for me. So I just didn't read anymore. And then once in a while, I would watch the TV show and be like, "Oh, this is what they're like." Yeah, okay. But if that's how they work, I like that. If that is how the majority of them work, because I think there are a lot of classic stories that work that way. I mean, even Sleepy Hollow, nothing scary happens until the very end, and they just, build them up. So if he does that, if that's something he does a lot in his stories, I actually would respect that quite a bit, because it also teaches kids patience to wait to get to the scary thing. And you're right, sometimes that buildup can be even better. So if that's something he does a lot, that's pretty cool.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And the Netflix 2023 Christmas Carol, I love the song Belle and Scrooge sing Later Never Comes. What do you think of that song?
I gotta go back again. See, that's the thing about. I have a soft spot for Scrooge the musical, but I'm not gonna pretend I like all the songs. Some I find kind of annoying. But there are some I really like. Even some of the annoying ones, I'm like, well, that's just gonna be an earworm in my head. Yeah, like, thank you very much, thank you. I'm like, oh, I hate this song, but it's gonna be in my head forever. But there's some I really really like. That one I'm blanking on. I don't remember it in the original. I don't remember it in the 2023 one. So yeah, I'd have to go back and listen to it again.
Gamer Wolf, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, critic, what's your favorite comic book series?
Mm, that's rough because, like, I guess I could just name the ones that I read. Like, I read a lot of Batman. I read a lot of X-Men. I read a lot of The Mask. I really like that. Sin City, I really liked. But does that count, or are those graphic? Like with Sin City, is that a graphic novel? I don't know what that
I
is.
think
I mean,
Sin
it's a
City,
graphic
you can
novel
call it a
series.
comic
I think
book.
it counts. But like, does Bone count?
Sure, yeah, Bone
I
could
guess
count.
Bone. I I respect it a little bit more than I liked it, but looking back at when it came out and realizing not a lot of comics were doing stuff like this in this style, I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, so yeah, there's a couple for you. In terms of like flat out favorite, I don't know. I guess I could go to Batman, but it's pretty tough. Sometimes I like X-Men more.
Keyblade Master. All right, Heather. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you like an actual sequel to Secret of Nim based off the second book instead of Timmy to the rescue?
I didn't even know there was a second book. I will admit, I never read all of the first book. I started it, and I don't know. Somewhere it lost my interest. I didn't get very far. I mean, I have it, whenever I want to pick it up again. But and my fatigue's been getting better. I might pick up reading again. See if I can get into that again. But I'm mainly an autobiography guy. I love reading autobiographies. But reading, I know it sounds ridiculous, but reading's not always been the easiest thing. For lack of a better way of putting it, I'm kind of dyslexic. So sometimes I will read stuff backwards and read a sentence again. But at the same time, you don't get better unless you practice. So autobiographies is usually the thing where I get the most into. But I've read some works of fiction. I do enjoy them quite a bit. I just like autobiographies more. So I guess that's a long-winded way of saying I haven't read the second book, and it has to be better than Timmy to the Rescue.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, as a fan of Duel Monsters, I'd love your opinion on this. As great as it was, I thought the seal of Orichalcus arc was pointless. Your say? I've only seen the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm so sorry. I enjoyed the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I never really went back to it much. I'm more of a Pokemon gal. I'm so sorry. I wish I had an answer for you. Seto Kaiba is an attractive man. That's my answer. No, sorry. Minnesota Superstars, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of dark tunes, may I suggest Thomas the Tank Engine episode, Duncan Gets Spooked. In this episode, there is literally a death in it.
Dark Toons is another one I kind of lost steam on. And again, with the fatigue, it makes it even more tricky. But even then, I haven't seen much of Thomas. I hear Thomas the Tank Engine is actually a good show, which sounds weird to say as an adult, but a lot of people grew up with it, said there actually are like good morals to it. It's very laid back. It's not like the movie, apparently. So one of these days I wouldn't mind checking it out, but again, it's gonna be one of those where it's like it's probably after I retire because I know I'm not gonna have time before then.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Seeing Ryan Lee in your latest reviewed movie made me want to ask, what do you think of Super 8?
I liked it. I'll be honest, what I remember most is that style before, Stranger Things became popular. So it was cool to see that style there and done pretty well. And then just the movie they make at the end. That was my favorite part, was seeing the actual movie they filmed. It really was at the locations. You see them shooting there. Everything else in the movie, I don't remember that well. I remember being fine, but in terms of what stands out, I just remember the style and I remember the movie at the end. And in a weird way, that feels right. I feel like that should be the things I probably remember most.
David, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, just saw both your reviews for the adaptations of Stephen King's It. Enjoyed your take on the films. Me personally, I have a soft spot for the Tim Curry film. Waha, waha, waha.
There's going back, there's a lot of things to enjoy about it, certainly. It was more when people were trying to say it was legit scary and legit good. That's where I kind of scratch my head a little bit and go, really? And that was at a time too when, again, and I do like Stephen King, but I think maybe my inner contrarian or something was just saying, like, look, he's done a lot of crap too, but it's entertaining crap. And when the adaptations try to adapt either something that's already not good or is good but doesn't adapt well, it's phenomenal crap. It's so spectacular. So I was always curious that so many people had such a hard time opening up to it, and now like it's making the movies. So you got Stephen King himself saying, yeah, he doesn't end his books very well, and it's just like, I've been saying that for years, and like now here it is on the big screen in a Stephen King project. So yeah, so that's kind of neat to see. But with that said, with the passing of time and stuff like that, there's things in that miniseries that are fun. Like, it always kept my interest. I want to know where it was going. Tim Curry's a ball. So yeah, there's things about that are fun, but I can't say it's good.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits and All Dogs Go to Heaven. What do you think of the scene where Itchy comes to the church after getting beaten by Carface's henchmen and has an argument with Charlie? Dom DeLuise is so good in that scene.
He is. That's another example of, he's still staying in character, but like when he needs to do what the script requires, when he needs to go dramatic, he can, and he can do it in a way that doesn't feel off or distracting. It still feels like this is the same character talking. So no, I love, even as a kid, I loved moments like that. Even though I would probably say like, oh, I want to watch, I don't know, there's a Tiny Toons VHS movie that came out that had no drama whatsoever. It's all comedy. I would probably watch that over and over. I knew something like a movie like that, or the Don Bluth movies or the Disney movies, were more important. And I knew I was probably going to watch them longer in the future. It's because of scenes like that where suddenly there are these really challenging moments that, you don't see as much as a kid. You tend to want to shield kids away from it. So I think I have more respect for movies that would show tough scenes like that.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, if you ever review Veggie Tales, you gotta check out the Larry Boy specials, which was a parody slash clear homage to Batman.
Okay, I think I have VeggieTales on the list.
Do it, Doug.
I'll do it. I'll probably get to it sometime next year. Because I want to see what all the fuss is about. Because that, okay, when talking about animated shows I stay away from because of the animation, that is one of them. I just look at that style like, oh, my eyes are bleeding. Oh, it's just so appalling to look at. But I believe people when they say it's really charming and really good. So, like I said, I'll probably check out the movie sometime next year.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite moment from Sleepy Hollow. Also, thoughts on Miranda Richardson's performance. I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah, she's fun. Favorite from that? I mean, can I just say the look of the whole movie? I mean, just the visual style of it is phenomenal, and I think the way it calls back to a lot of Hammer horror films, down to like the neon blood and the obvious stage sets and everything, was really cool. But if you need specific moment, anytime Christopher Walken goes, ah, that was always great.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. You should really watch Scooby-Doo Mysteries Incorporated since you like that scene of Scooby thinking Shaggy is cheating on him.
I probably should. That scene is so funny. Stop it, Jackie. I'm not stupid. Just the delivery on all of that was so spectacular. Yeah, I should. But Shaggy and Velma? You know why that's weird.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Johnny Depp being cast as Scrooge in the new version coming out?
I literally just heard that this stream. So, I don't know. I think he can be a very good actor. He can also go very hammy, and I think a lot of it depends on the director. So I think that's going to make a big difference. So I guess we'll see with that. I think he can do it, but I think a lot of it's going to depend on who they get to direct it.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through chat. Animal kids movies are most inconsistent. If they're talking, how come humans don't understand them? If that's the case, how come they understand humans?
You know, it's funny because at first I was thinking like, well, some movies show that the animals just have like their own language and stuff, but you're right. A lot of times they can understand the humans. That's a really, really good point. I think that's where you just go, kids film, magic, kind of thing. You're not supposed to think that hard about it. There are some things I'll point out as a joke, but I give leeway to if it leads to a good story.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Zootopia, what do you think of the
Wait. I will say this. I just thought of this right now because animals can understand some words, some English words. So, but we can't really understand, their meows or their barks or something like that. So maybe there's a little bit of wiggle around. Maybe there's a little bit more logic there than we thought.
Perchance. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Zootopia, what do you think of the third act breakup? I think it's one of the better versions of that trope.
Yes, I hate waiting for them to get to the makeup because it's going to happen. You know what they're going to realize, and they're not going to have many laughs there. But again, with that setup, just the idea of like your main character, which is a fluffy, cute little bunny that you're all rooting for and everything, has a little bit of a prejudice, and the whole thing is about fighting prejudice everywhere, and she's supposed to fight prejudice. I mean, that's kind of a challenging idea. So I feel like that kind of rode that out a little bit. It made me look over the other stuff I usually don't like in that trope.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Ideas for tier lists: DreamWorks Animation, Tim Burton, Steven Spielberg, Hitchcock, Tarantino, Don Bluth, Scorsese. I actually have all of those written down. But yes, they are all good. I like the idea that we might eventually start going into director ones and things like that.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know if we've done director one. It's not a
We
bad
have
idea.
not. No, we haven't done a director one because that might be a manageable amount of movies for everyone to watch,
Yeah.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite scene and line from the original Ghostbusters?
Man, just so much of it is so good. Actually, I do know. It's not even that funniest scene. It's people who made Stranger Things, they agree this is the best part of the movie when Winston is talking about the end of the world and quoting the Bible and the dead rising from the grave. Everything about that scene, the acting, just the very simple way it's shot, the music, the tone, where it's placed in the movie, everything about that scene just works. Even though, again, it's such a silly idea when you think about it, but it's like, man, that just, you realize how invested you were getting into that movie when you realize this is working. You're taking this seriously.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. And All Dogs Go to Heaven too. What do you think of The Boy?
I have only seen bits and pieces, and I can't remember if I've seen the whole thing. If I have, it's like in fragments. I don't know if I sat down and watched the whole thing. Um, it didn't look like much to me. It didn't look awful, but it didn't look particularly good. So, so just the bit I saw, he didn't leave much of an impact on me.
Gamer Wolf, thank you for the $7 super chat. Hey, critic, for the Grinch movies, Boris Karloff's Grinch represents the spirit of Christmas, while Jim Carrey's represents its commercialism.
Man, you're really trying to make that movie work, aren't you? I don't know. I can't give it to you. I can't give it to you. It's a charming theory. It's a like, that's working overtime. That's like, okay, there's almost something there, but I'm like, nah. I'm just thinking of like Jim Carrey throwing his head in that woman's cleavage and saying, Dr. Seuss. I'm like, nope. No, I'm thinking of like having the mayor kiss the dog's butt. He's like, hee, that tasted great. Nope. You can't win me over on this. I'm sorry.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. A movie I'd like to recommend for Nostalgia Critic is An American Carol. It's about a parody of Michael Moore, who hates 4th of July in America and is visited by ghosts of George S. Patton and George Washington and the Angel of Death to help change his ways. It's awful, and I think there's plenty of material.
I have it on DVD because I'm not a Michael Moore guy, and so I was kind of looking forward to a parody. I heard it's not good, but I know one of the Zucker brothers did it. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Michael Moore, so I'm just like, it's sitting there. One of these days, I'll check it out. But I get the feeling you're right. I get the feeling it's probably not that great.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you consider making a complete Nostalgia Critic DVD or Blu-ray set like AVGN did with his sets?
A complete one? No, well, good God, how many would they even be?
Right.
But we do have several DVDs that we have for sale at theawesomestore.com. And yeah, no, you can still get them. Anything that we could put on DVD, we usually do, or we did for a while. But yeah, so they're definitely out there. But I mean, it's weird because on the one hand, there are, they were a big thing back then when they came out. And now as everybody says, oh, physical media, everybody streams, everybody blah, 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 and it's online anyway, even though there's stuff you can't see online on there. But then you got people that are trying to bring physical media back. And then sometimes like we see our DVDs like going for like 200, 300 bucks, like on eBay and stuff like that. It's just like, okay, well, maybe it is making a comeback. I don't know.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Toy Story 2, what do you think of Stinky Pete?
He's good. I like him. I wish they kept that character just in that one instead of doing him again in the third one. I thought that was kind of a shame that they just kind of retread that. But yeah, I like the way he was handled in that film. I thought it was both very funny, but also, again, you sympathize with him. You get it. You understand where he's coming from.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you think Justin and Mrs. Brisby should have ended up together at the end of Nim if 2 was never made?
Nah. I know they kind of give each other the eyes a little bit and stuff like that, but I think that's where it should stop. I think it's a cute little wink there, and then I don't think it needs to go any further than that.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which Edward Norton performance do you like more, him as Bruce Banner or Detective Will from Red Dragon?
Oh, Red Dragon, big time. I thought he played that pretty well. I go back and forth who played it better because I find Edward Norton more interesting. Like, I'm more concerned for him when he's in danger. But the other guy from Manhunter, I do legit buy, man, this guy was a serial killer in another life. Like, it wouldn't take much to push him. Where with Edward Norton, I'm like, no, it would take quite a bit to push him into that. He's still got a foot in reality. But the one from Manhunter, I'm like, no, he's legit playing it like if just the right thing went wrong, he could turn into a serial killer.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, if you really want to see a really good Nicolas Cage movie, I'd recommend Knowing, in which he gives a really believable / emotional performance.
I thought I heard that wasn't too great. Maybe I confused it for another one because God, he's made so many. All right, I'll try to check it out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, what's your favorite moment between Indy and his dad in Last Crusade? That's so hard because that's like the heart and soul of the whole movie.
Yeah, there's so many good moments.
There's so many. I mean, I love when they kind of talk about his mom for a second. I love when he calls him Indiana for the first time instead of Junior. That's great. I don't know. Just their whole reconciliation in general. It's the heart and soul of the whole movie. It's so hard to pick one.
The scene where they're just talking on the blimp is so great. They're literally just having a conversation. It feels so real. And you're getting so much backstory about them too. And they're playing it so convincingly. I'm with you. It is just the heart of that movie.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. An underrated Jack Black performance is his role in High Fidelity. I love his chemistry with John Cusack and Todd Luiso at the record store. I'm so sorry I mispronounced that, I'm sure.
I gotta see that movie again because I'm not a big John Cusack fan, and that movie just encompassed everything I don't like about his performance and about the persona and everything. But then people tell me, but that's the idea. He's not supposed to be very likable and everything. And I'm like, maybe I should give him another chance, especially now that I'm older, because I think I was in either high school or college when I saw it. So, when people talk about like, oh, Ferris Bueller, what a pretentious a-hole, or, what a full of himself, egotist or whatever. That's what I saw with this guy, but not in a fun way. So maybe I got to watch it again. Maybe I'll watch it again and totally agree with like what people say that is very good and everything. Also, in our recent just to see Catherine Zeta-Jones. That's an early performance, she said.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen The Lodge from The Play Goes Wrong?
I don't think so. I've seen a movie called The Lodge, which I know that's not a Play Goes Wrong production. They're not doing. No, okay. For a second, I thought they were actually doing a version of that movie. I'm like, that can't be. I'm like, no, it's not, because that'd be a very bizarre choice. No, I'll probably check it out. My brother brought up a really good point about, even though I like those, he did bring up after the first 10, 20 minutes, there's no character to bring you throughout the rest of it. There's not, noise is off. At least you have that concern of like, these people before the play starts. And you don't really get that in the play that goes wrong. So that is something where I realize I do kind of lose interest as it goes on. But it's not that it isn't well done. It is something I'm like, yeah, I think I do need that connection in there with a little bit of character.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, would you consider at some point reviewing the Stephen King TV series that stars James Franco going back in time to stop the JFK assassination?
Yeah, I heard of that. It's kind of more recent too, isn't it? I never did see it. I feel like there's more crazy King stuff to check out, but we'll see.
Bonnie, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your opinions on either The Boys or Invincible?
So I didn't see the last season of The Boys, and I was really liking it, but the commentary was just getting too direct, where it wasn't fun. I like that in the original commentary, like heroes can be a couple things. Now this one person is supposed to obviously be this one person, and just the commentary was getting a little lazy. So I'm still interested in the characters and everything, but that was getting in the way. Invincible, I really like the first season. I haven't seen any of the other seasons, and apparently I'm missing out on a lot. And I believe it because I did like the first season. So I'll get to that in a bit. Maybe I might take some time off in January. I'll try to catch up on those.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you don't like A Kid in King Arthur's Court, did you read the original book by Mark Twain titled A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court?
Oh yeah, that's a very different story. A little darker. Um, yeah, I liked it. I didn't expect to get that seeing a kid in King Arthur's court, but I will say when I saw the title, I don't think I saw King Arthur's court by then or heard. I don't think it was out yet, but I think I just had an idea about with that title, like what it was, and then as I read it, it starts off that way, and as it keeps going, and going, oh, this actually gets kind of heavy, kind of mean and dark, almost apocalyptic. So, yeah, it is a very very good book, but yeah, just know it's not a. I mean, I think a lot of people know that about Mark Twain. That there is some chipper stuff, but there's also some very heavy dark stuff in it too. So, yeah, just know that going in.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Since I have since sorry, wow, hello. Since I've asked about All Dogs Go to Heaven, do you plan on reviewing it? It would be nice to see you review the last of Don Bluth's great films.
Ah, so that's what this all was. You're trying to get in my head to review it. I see. I actually have thought about it, doing that because there's certainly a lot to talk about. Um, I think I have it on the list. Let me write it down just in case, but I'm pretty sure I have it on there. Yeah, what am I talking about? I don't know when, but I probably will.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Halloween, Doug and Giraffe. Heather, seriously, Heather, love your costume. Thank you. I got it off of Amazon. Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of talking animal movies, what do you think of Strays?
That's the newer one that came out, right?
I don't
Either way, I
know.
didn't see it. I just want to see if that's no, no. Okay, that's right. That was the live action one. I never saw it. I heard it's not that good, but I heard it's not that good.
Great.
But I haven't seen it.
Cat Puff, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you noticed Tifa and Aerith are inversions of each other's archetypes? I hope you enjoy more of the surprises the game has yet to offer. Just one of the many reasons that I love this game.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess I wasn't going out of my way to notice that, but it's like, yeah, and even to some extent, Cloud and Barrett are kind of different too. Different sides of the coin. So, yeah, I can see that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. With Nostalgia Ween done, when does Disney December start?
December.
Gamer Wolf, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Heather, how did you feel about Indiana's dad being killed off in Crystal Skull despite drinking from the Grail? I don't love to like nitpick details. Like the supernatural parts of those movies have always been a little wibbly wobbly, but also, I don't know. You also didn't even need to add that into Crystal Skull necessarily. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a hater, but it didn't need to be there.
I always thought when they crossed the seal, it's like all bets are off. You know, like that was the deal. You cross the seal, boom, that's
sense.
it. Now yada yada. Though they never say that, but you know, they say don't cross the seal. So that was just my assumption. But even before Crystal Skull, just when they rode off into the sunset, that's just because I'm like, well, why is there a big concern holding on to him and everything? I mean, it's like he's immortal now, right? So yeah, that was always my thought.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 44-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. I've been wanting to say this. If no one is going to give the magical creatures names in Snow White, then I'm just going to call them dwarfs because they look and act like them. At least Doc didn't look like Santa Claus like he did in the original.
Do you think they look like dwarves? I don't know what they look like. They just look scary to me.
Ricky, thank you for the $20 super chat. Really appreciate that. We're close to Halloween, so kind of curious if you and almost anyone at Channel Awesome are comfortable with it. Did you ever have a real scary experience or story? And do you listen or read internet true stories, whether they're true or not?
I don't usually read true story. I don't know if I've ever said this.
Ooh.
I'm gonna sound like a nut. I don't know what this was.
Great, love it.
I'm not saying it was a UFO.
Okay,
but one
excellent.
night, this is in the Chicagoland area. I was just going for a walk. It was night. I saw this very, very bright white light. Starts off small, went whoop, whoop, and then disappeared. It made no sound whatsoever. I just stood there looking up at this. I walked home. I told them what I saw. They threw out a few things it could be. Maybe somebody did like some sort of plane thing or a sonic boom, you know, maybe they're testing somewhere. I was like, I don't know. I
I
never
don't know.
found out what it was.
Love
So
that.
that's the closest to like a weird what the hell thing.
I used to be very into like urban legends and things like that. We have a lot of haunted places in Chicago.
Yeah.
Resurrection Cemetery is like there's a lot of fun stuff and mythos around that. So I used to be
Mm.
very into that stuff. Um,
Rob too.
yeah. My college, the performance hall was haunted, or so they said. So I love a good ghost story.
Mm.
I've seen a couple of things, but nothing where I'd be like, ghosts are real, everyone freak out. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's just like, well, was it because I'm really into this stuff? So I wanted to see the weird shadow in the corner of Pfeiffer Hall. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
don't know. But I love that kind of stuff. It's fun.
I like it too. I'd be lying if I said I usually believed it, but I still like just from a
It's fun.
storytelling perspective. I love all that stuff.
Yeah. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Toy Story 3, what do you think of the scene where Woody is told Lotso's backstory? It's sad to see how he went from being so kind to the cruel person that he is now.
Again, if I didn't see it in Toy Story 2, maybe it's a touch different because it happens in the past, but I did feel like there's a little too much repeating. And, you know, it's acted well and everything. It's not done badly. It's just, I've already seen it. So, yeah, it didn't do a ton for me.
Missing, thank you for the $5 super chat. Next Halloween, can we get a review in your Daniel the Demon Slayer costume? That'd be funny.
Might be an idea there. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about that.
Derolo, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, love your content. Do you ever plan on reviewing Dark Shadow 2012? I think it's Tim Burton's most underrated feature film.
Boy, that's not usually what I hear. I am planning to review it, but maybe you shouldn't watch it because I don't think I'm going to be as kind to it as you are.
Timothy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I miss Santa Christ. When can we expect his return? We all love Santa Christ.
He literally popped up in the Narnia review. So
Yeah.
you see him there.
He was just in the Narnia one. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would recommend Supernatural. The first 5 seasons of Urban Legends. Have a good night all.
You too. And I love to see it's just a time thing, but I have heard it's very good.
Okay, we have like 2 minutes for regular
All right.
questions here, everybody. Sean49 Doctor says, thoughts on the 1941 version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, with Spencer Tracy.
I remember liking it. The transition effects were ambitious. I don't know if they quite worked, but I kind of give it credit for what it was trying. I remember, for the most part, I remember liking the acting. I thought he did a pretty decent job.
Fred Ramirez over on YouTube says, which Looney Tunes scientist do you prefer? Peter Lorre or Boris Karloff? Oh, and cute costume, Heather. Thank you.
I don't remember the Boris Karloff. The Peter Lorre one, of course. He's always like the mad scientist. I guess I'll go with that because I just don't remember the Boris Karloff one.
Power Gamer over on Twitch says, how would you rank the following garbage animated films? Angry Birds, The Emoji Movie, Norm of the North.
Norm of the North's probably worse than Angry Birds, than the Emoji Movie. Surprisingly, there are 1 or 2 things in the Emoji Movie I'm like, well, that's an idea at least. And actually, I do know the scientist you're talking about. There's one where there's a kind of a bald man. I think that's the one you're talking about. I still like the Peter Lorre one more.
Headshot over on YouTube says, have you ever played Crash Bandicoot?
No. I think that's another one we have on the list. Maybe not. I haven't even played like the original, so that'd be kind of a fun thing to do at some point. I'll put that down.
Then they say, well, then good news. The game is getting an animated series on Netflix, probably.
Oh, well, screw it. I won't play the game. I'll just watch the show.
See what you've done. Look at what you've done. Well, I guess that might be the note we have to end on here.
All right.
Doug being like, what have you done? What have you done? Anyway, thank you all so much as usual for joining us here today. And sorry, y'all. Don't know what that was.
That was weird. That was weird. Okay.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Maybe we'll just
Anyway,
have to tune in on YouTube around 10:31. Maybe. I don't know.
maybe
I don't
here. I don't know. we played that so naturally, Doug.
know. Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Just so naturally.
It's like that white flash I saw before. Yeah, it's that, yeah.
Um,
Perfectly logical explanation, I'm sure.
but yeah, thank you all so much for joining us here as usual. We super appreciate it. Please keep in mind we won't have a stream here on Friday night because it is Halloween. It's Halloween. Enjoy yourselves. Spend the holiday with your family and friends or scaring children.
And of course, show up on YouTube to perhaps watch something that may or may not be occurring on
Maybe
that day.
something we've been teasing for a little while here now. Just
Maybe.
maybe tune in. Keep your eyes on the YouTube channel. Malcolm will also be back tomorrow on Twitch. I think he's still finishing Silent Hill F. One last chance to scare Malcolm with the scare alerts on Twitch tomorrow, which has been hilarious. It's been great. You should go hang out with Malcolm and scare him. He has some great new great reactions. But yeah, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Oh, and I was going to mention this too, since we may not see you all until next week. Keep in mind, it is daylight savings time this weekend. So if next week all of a sudden you're like, wait, huh? Why are the streams at a weird time? Don't forget, we're falling back here in America. We're falling back. Our time is changing. So just keep that in mind. That's all. Okay? Cool. Great. I think we covered everything.
Think we did. Think we good.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. See you later.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.